Helps if I unmute my Kia ora, everyone. Welcome to another exciting week of Dave tries to make sure his computer doesn't break and then does stuff as well. Which unfortunately struggled last night, but I'm back. Started a whole other game now. Oh no. You're not the first one to tell. Did you actually pay for another game? Because you're the second person that I've had tell me that they've started a second new game, and I'm like, how can you afford to buy two games? How does everyone have this expendable income? I can barely afford the Moonstone things. All you people out there with expendable income, I don't know how you do it. I do envy it. I do envy it. I mean, I have to budget quite really hard just to afford the Moonstones. I mean, the cost of living over here is like really bad. So. Oh no! So the eggs do. Oh, now that's weird. So here's a bit of a discovery. So the egg event finished over the weekend. One of the bushes vanished. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Why did only one of the bushes vanish? Your egg bushes are gone. Well, why are mine still here? One of them vanished. Like I had three. There was one of them here. You're trying to fill every chest, fill each chest with one unlike me. Oh, well, you're a crazy person, just like me. I'm glad. There are more of us out there. Your egg bushes are gone, but mine remain. That is odd. I do like looking at the new fox enclosure. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's too much as well. It feels like it's the right size. I think that the only thing I don't like is the idle kind of animations. They don't really play with the toys that much. And it feels like the range needs to be bigger. Like, should be a way to be able to assign this is the range for that particular house, so it kind of goes around the whole thing instead of it just being like them being isolated here. But I don't know. As I said, it's their first run at it. You never know. They could expand and change it. You'd be surprised what devs can do. All right, so what we need to do, at least before the next update, is start building these chests. So I've got a 411 darkwood. So what's that's going to give me? That's going to give me, what's 4 times 4? Math, Dave, it's early. 16. It's going to give me 16 chests. So it's going to be able to replace a good chunk of them. Not all of them, because all those fishes are definitely more than 16. But you need to start doing it. So maybe we get into a bit of a habit of doing at least one a day. One a day. Not one a stream, one a day. Oh, I just checked out Speedstorm I've mentioned. Looks like, yeah, it does look a lot of fun. I mean, one of the key things, and the main reason I've got a bit of faith in it, it is made by the same developers who make Dreamlight Valley. And so I kind of like their angle with it, is that it looks like a decent game. It's also going to be free to play. So it's going to be very much like Dreamlight Valley eventually. And they seem to know their stuff. I think one thing that's really fascinating me about Speedstorm is part of me is like, all right, if Speedstorm could be a good indication of what they've got in mind at Gameloft, of, you know, what direction they're going to go with multiplayer. So obviously with multiplayer now, they've got Speedstorm, and they've got this now. Speedstorm is obviously a very multiplayer game. So they were able to refine a lot of their infrastructure using Speedstorm and integrate it with Dreamlight Valley, and then that should help the overall picture. So we can think, all right, so Speedstorm, they've set up ways to do leaderboards. They've set up ways to do multiplayer lobbies. They've set up ways to do all these things. So they've got that locked in. Do you know when it's going to be free to play? No idea when it's going to be free to play. I'm suspecting it's going to be like Dreamlight Valley. It's going to be a year. But they've got the infrastructure there, so it gives hope to with Dreamlight Valley into introducing these things. They have to be worry more about the coding of it than the infrastructure, which is actually really, really good. Now, one thing I've noticed about Speedstorm that I started going on a tangent about is there's a lot of deep cuts in that game. Now, by deep cuts, if you go into Cruise, so every character you can have, every racer you can get Cruise with it, and they have some additional bonuses you can get. So, like for instance, the Beauty and the Beast characters you can get, like Cogsworth, who is the clock. You can equip that to the main racer, and it gives you a buff. If you go into Mickey and Friends, you can actually get equip one of those characters as Mickey's nephews, those twin nephews that I've talked about in the past. So the reason why I bring that up is that it's clear that they've got the knowledge there about some deep cut characters that aren't very popular, and they're willing to put it into the game. So it makes me think, what in Dreamlight Valley, once they've kind of covered all the staples, like, you know, all the big kind of movies, like they've got the Frozens, they've got everything like that. When they start going a bit deeper, what kind of deep cut characters are we going to get? Because it feels like that's the direction it's going to go. Once we get Belle, and once you got Beauty and the Beast down, and once we got Eve from Wally, I reckon we could expect some interesting deep cut characters in the future. And I'm really hoping for it. I think that's the one thing, like a really good thing this game can do to make it stand out. Like, if you play Disney Speedstorm and you realize, oh, I can build, oh, who's this character? And start exploring that character a bit more and kind of having something unexpected happen. I want that. I really want that. I just want to make a Toontown. It would be awesome to be able to make like a mouse kind of section of Toontown. I don't know. I already kind of have with Mini and Mini, but I know. It just got me excited to just falling down that mine rabbit hole. Getting ready to harvest 500 plots of pumpkins. Oh, good luck on your computer. I find my computer suffers a lot when that happens. Are you doing the fence quiz? Fence trick? Because they have fixed the golden harvest bug, so you can actually harvest them without the companion getting in the way. But if you're doing 500, it might pay to fence them in. You get to see the future before I do. Yeah, it's not that interesting though. It's kind of like the past, but clocks are different. That's pretty much the only difference. I mean, I thought for a brief moment I get to see the shop earlier than everyone else. Like, if you checked your shop right now when it resets, I know it won't go by the hour, does it? See, my one says 4 days. But I think it resets for everyone at the same time. But the weird thing is they moved it ahead 2 days. So now, instead of it resetting on my Thursday morning, it now resets on my Friday night. So it's really annoying. It's annoying because I do my news of the week every Friday morning. Well, normally I just do it every Friday morning. But now the shop resets Friday night for me at 1 a.m. Well, it's actually 1 a.m. on a Saturday. It resets. So it kind of ruins my news if I can't actually go over what the shop is. So I have to decide whether I always do the news at 1 a.m. in the morning, or I just do the news and then add in a screenshot later. Adding in the screenshot later just doesn't have the same hit to it though, does it? I like the ravens. I do wish they would like just perch on a tree or something. They must be exhausted. Yeah, for sure. The little wings. Yeah, they're gonna be tired. So I like to have an idea like they perch on the house or like perch on the trees. I really wish they'd implement that. Or even like when you're away from them, they kind of just settle down and, or if you just stay still, like if you were to sit on the seat, for instance, you sit on the seat and you sat there long enough, they start to settle down again and start perching and doing some idle stuff. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Alright, so question. We did decide this week was going to be a very grindy week. I was trying to knock off a few things in terms of resources. So we're going to do some farming. Gotta get Wally or Woody, whatever one bumps into me first. Cool. On to the next one. I think it'll be eggplant. Eggplant. This is all the stream's going to be. It's me grinding through these. It's not going to be exciting. It's what happens when we start to enter prep mode. For the next update. I mean, every prep gets a bit easier every time. It's a bit of a grind, especially as I was still upgrading all the chests last time the last update dropped. So a lot of my chests weren't as full as they are now. Oh, I'm doing boring grinding stuff today. Probably all this week I'm going to be doing boring grinding for materials kind of work. I've been trying to complete more quests because my goal is to have storage system like you. You don't want to be crazy like me, Destiny. You've watched me long enough to know that this is not a good thing. It's a burden. It's a curse. It's not a blessing. I mean, look, you've seen how long it's taken me just to fill some chests up. And what happened when I had to make all the chests and now I have to make them all again to change the color. You don't want to be like me. You need the resources. Yeah, you don't want to be crazy though. You don't want to be me. You don't want to get chests for everything. Because then you get obsessed with filling it, and I'm never going to be able to fill all the resources. Especially Darkwood, because I'm just spending it all. But eventually it's going to reach a point where I only need like 2 or 3 resources, and I'll just be grinding those all day. It would just mean me fishing all day, or mining all day. And that feels a bit boring, but that is the direction that I'm eventually going to go to. But it also means in the update 5, I can just grind out all the stuff really quickly. I think that's what I like about update day. Is that a lot of the time I've got everything on the fly and I can just do it all. It's the day ones that throw me up. The ones that like have 5 daily conversations with Mickey, and that means I can't do it. I'm Leonard's partner. Oh. And I just made affiliate and streamed to 0 videos for a very long time. Yeah, I've made a thing that I'm, even if I qualify for an affiliate, I'm not gonna do it at all. So I'm all good. I mean, to be honest, I was playing this game anyway, and I just figured chucking on streaming is just a way of keeping things interesting for me. It was never intended to be anything more than just a fun little project, and I'm not becoming affiliate or anything, because that means I can't multi-stream. That means I can't stream on Twitch at the same, YouTube at the same time I do on Twitch, or on Kick, because I stream on Kick at the same time. I'm definitely not doing this for the money. Which is very annoying, because someone made a TikTok of coming to my stream and giving me $100. And now it's got like, someone checks, 67,000 views or something ridiculous like that. And so everyone that comes to the stream, it's just like, you can do it, man. You can become this. I'm like, I don't even want that. I even just, the money that they gave me, I just forwarded it on to another streamer. I didn't even keep it. effectively sell myself. I think if I worry that if I start caring about it, things will stop being authentic. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. Now, the more I think about it, the more I worry that if there's any monetization in this little project that I'm doing, I think the authenticity of what I'm doing will fade away, and I won't even like myself. That awkward moment where you realize your mic's been off since you've come back. That's pretty much what just happened there. I was talking to myself. I had some really cool conversations too. I was talking about gates and how I need iron. So, sorry about that. Kind of reminds me when I was streaming in the early days. Back in November. I didn't realize the mic wasn't working. But because no one was actually in the stream, no one told me. So I streamed for about a week on mute. Didn't even realize it. Until someone came in and say I can't hear you because they saw my mouth moving. Good times. Good times. Yeah. I've decided this is the last week I'm gonna have the squeaky chair. I'm gonna upgrade it. It's a big moment for me because I've been saving towards it. Just a good, decent. It's gonna be just a simple office chair. It's not gonna be a fancy gaming one. There's fancy gaming ones. One that don't stick together, rumble apart, and terrible back support. Look at Remy. Remy's in the snow. Oh, it looks like just a fat Olaf. Oh, that's so cool. No, that's something you don't see every day. I'm not been playing as much. I want more characters. Yeah, you hit the wall, the wall during the updates. You just want more. I get that. I'm a bit annoyed that I'm technically not finished the content yet because of Buzz. So I want more. I want the aliens. I want to put aliens all through the Toy Story area. And also, like, I think they should have made the alien a critter as well. That would have been cool. No, I don't need to make myself feel better. I always feel better. I'm fine. You're fine. No, I'm fine. You're the one with the problem. Look, see, I've like my 14 aliens in my inventory. I like looking at them every time I open this goddamn fucking inventory. Yes, I swore. It's fine. Shut the hell up, Buzz. I don't need your shit right now. You're part of the problem. Like, any of you could say right now, hey, I didn't like that video of yours. Or, I don't like this thing, and I'm not going to ban you. It's absolutely fine. If you're being a dick about it, saying you're a horrible, horrible person, Dave, and you should go to hell, I would agree with you, but I might ban you. But I find it quite interesting that not only are we not getting the update until June, we also aren't getting the item that they were talking about until June as well, which seems very odd because we get items anyway with an update. So it kind of goes on my theory that we're not going to get a hot fix and that we're only going to get update in June because I think they messed up. So let's get these 500 moonstones. So it says, congratulations to all Valley villagers on completing the most amusing park achievement. As a reward, we'll create a special tabletop-sized item based off the Mad Hatter party ride. Now, I've looked at the screenshot. And it looks exactly the same as what they used for the actual ride. So it doesn't seem like they're doing much. They're just probably just taking that model and just shrinking it. They make it placeable. This item will be delivered to your inbox when Update 5 launches. As part of our Disney Park Star Park celebration, we're challenging all Valley villagers to build their own Dreamlight parks using a variety of different items. Once challenge masters so blah blah. I'm a bit disappointed. Because I expected the item to come now. But it seems weird for them to say, we're going to give you an item in Update 5. You're also going to get like all the normal update items, but also this one little tiny item. Because it's not even massive, impressive item. It's just a little tea kettle. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else feels a little bit shortchanged there, but did you do anything special for Star Wars Day, May the 4th? No. I did watch Star Wars. I mean, I guess that's special. So yesterday I did watch Star Wars. I forgot to mention anything on stream though, like a fool. But I am wearing my Star Wars. See, I don't know if people realize this, and I'll switch over here. This robe is a Star Wars robe. So the robe you always see me wear is actually a Star Wars Jedi robe. See? So Star Wars there. Live long and prosper. To be fair, I'm more of a Star Trek nerd than a Star Wars nerd, but I like both of them. For the record. But they're not one and the same. That's what people often like. The ones that aren't in the know. Star Wars is a sci-fi fantasy. Star Trek is sci-fi. There's a very specific difference. One's grounded in science and one of them's grounded in the Force. Well, not science. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're two different things. Oh, the red flower bug. Yes. I do know that the bug used to be around before the Scar update. The red flower bug, and then that came back. So yeah, the red flower bug, I always say, I remember when I used to play this game when it was red, when I first started playing it back in September. Then they fixed the bug, and now it's reverted back. So I know about the bug. The other hints was making Wonderland cookies as part of the Star Path, and they literally had you chasing white rabbits. Do you think it's a red herring? So, yeah, so the Easter event was chasing white rabbits. They gave a lot of Alice in Wonderland stuff in the Star Path. And they made Wonderland cookies. My question would be, I don't think it'll be the extent of the Alice in Wonderland stuff. I think they will introduce more Alice in Wonderland stuff in the future. I think it was more, not a coincidence, but more of a kind of, oh, this will be a cool ride because it's modeled off an infamous ride at Disneyland. Oh, let's put, and then the bunnies was just a, I don't think that they put the bunnies in specifically for Alice in Wonderland. I don't think they went, oh, White Rabbit, Alice in Wonderland, Easter event. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think it's just the model they used. The White Rabbit's very generic, safe. And when you think about all the rabbits you could have chosen from, if we go critters, from a visual point of view, it seems like the White Rabbit's just the one that's unique enough and easy enough to spot. I mean, they could have picked any of them. To be fair, and it feels like they should have got the color rabbit. But, I mean, they had to pick one. And you could have, any rabbit you picked, the question I would have is, would you still suspect it would be an Alice in Wonderland connection? I think people would still put the link together. Because they'll be like, oh, rabbit, you're chasing a rabbit. You chase a rabbit down the hole in Alice in Wonderland, there's a connection there. So I don't think they will, it doesn't matter what rabbit they picked. I think people would have linked that together. So I think it's Tinkerbell crazy. This is what we should do. We should have a thing from now on called Tinkerbell Crazy. And so Tinkerbell Crazy is when people take one thing and blow it out of proportion in Dreamlight Valley. We'll call it Tinkerbell Crazy. So the Tinkerbell Crazy theory is that there's a big overarching secret hint towards Alice in Wonderland. And the Tinkerbell theory is... Tinkerbell Crazy theory of the week is because of the teacups and the connection to the rabbits and the red flowers bug, we're going to be getting Alice in Wonderland. The Tinkerbell Crazy theory of the week. I don't know, it's like what? T.C.T. T.C.T. I know, it needs to be a thing. Tinkerbell Crazy theory of the week. And honestly, I don't think so. I mean, it seems like a really big stretch. I mean, they could pick any color rabbit. They just happen to pick a white one. And you could say, well, yeah, they could have picked any rabbit, but they picked a white one. It's like, yeah, but I mean, the white one's just more visually the easiest one to spot. And they try and be accepting of everybody and make it as easy as possible for everyone to participate in the event. And then you're like, well, what about the ride? And you're like, well, yeah. I mean, that seems like a stretch of like, all right, this movie had a rabbit, and they introduced one item into the game that's also got a rabbit into it. There must be a connection. And you'd be like, what about the red roses bug? It's like, yeah, but that was a bug that existed in the early days of this game, and it's just reverted back. I mean, that just seems like a really odd thing to not highlight, at least, that was deliberate. Because they didn't. They've recognized it as a bug. They haven't recognized it as an accident or kind of hint that it's something more. They've put that in their Discord as a bug. So, I think people are overthinking it. But then again, that's what the Tinkerbell Crazy theory is. Everyone just takes one little thing and blows it out of proportion and makes 15 different videos about it for the next week. We're starting a new thing. It's called T.C.T. Tinkerbell Crazy Theory. And it's when someone blows something out of proportion. We need to get like some kind of alarm. I don't know how to do it. I've seen people like build things into the Twitch streams that when people type it, it kind of plays something. We need that. I don't know if it rolls off the tongue well though. The T.C.T. Or T.C. theory. Or the T.C. Yeah, I don't know. It's a work in progress kind of title. And also like, what other thing would they do for Easter instead? Like, they're like, alright, you chase a rabbit. It's like, oh no, we can't do that because Alice in Wonderland. It's like, alright, what else can we do? It's like, not really a lot of things else you could do that's a little bit simple, that's already in game. Because all they did was really just add bunnies running around the plaza. I mean, that's easy to do, and they've got more. They need to focus on developing the game. They don't have time to develop sort of like a complicated Easter event. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to leave you be, Emily, and anyone else out there, as I need to go to work. So thank you all for watching, And thank you all for a really an amazing week. And yeah, it's been really great. It's been really, I felt very positive, and the people that have popped along all week have been different. I mean, Emily, you've popped around to near the end of the week, but at the start of the week we had some different names. I think I'm really enjoying this phase that I'm in with my streaming, that now every day there's someone different or a regular that hasn't been here for a while coming back and just having a good chat, and that's exactly the vibe I want. So I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, just want to say thank you to everyone, and thanks you all for watching. And Emily, I will beat you in this memory race. The war has started again, and let's see how far we can push this. Well, thanks Gamum, thanks Mr. Tanker, thanks Jedi as always, and thank you anyone else. Yasmin, thanks Yasmin for earlier as well, and thanks to anyone out there that's watching this in hindsight, as I know you do, and I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube and just want to say hi, because I always like to hear from you, and just anyway, best of luck. Yeah, all right, Emily, until next time, I'll be back on. I might do a surprise stream tomorrow, fingers crossed, but if not, I'll be on in 2 days time. No, not tomorrow, but the following day. 48 hours, something like that. Not tomorrow, but the next day. I'll be back on. But until next time. Bye. Oh, kia ora. Damn it. Use the proper goodbye, Dave. Oh, that's not good. Oh, 3 laps. 3 laps. Looks a little bit better. I got time. Make up my mistake. Oh, damn, that... Oh, that didn't give me any advantage. Oh, what? I think the music's messed up. This is weird. The music's messed up. This is not... This is in hell. I'm in hell. This is horrible. This is horrible. Oh no. There's something from Gameloft games. They are glitchy. Oh god, this is not pleasant at all.